In the past 10 years, the price of petrol has risen by 40%, and the price of diesel has gone up about 50%. Since 1999, you're probably paying about £300 or £400 more every year for petrol than you were. In fact, in the past 3 months alone, the price of petrol has risen by 10%. And even if you're running a small car, that could mean an increase in fuel costs of £100 per year. At least the cars we drive today are a lot more efficient than they were 10 years ago. Take this, Peugeot 107. This car does almost 63 miles per gallon. That's 40% better than the equivalent model would have done 10 years ago. Of course, it's not just about saving fuel and money. It's about emissions as well, and this car's emissions are about 25% better than the model a decade ago. Unfortunately, if you're a young driver, the chances are you won't be able to afford a brand new, efficient car like this one. However, there is a way you can save emissions and money, up to £150 a year in fact. It's called eco-driving. Now, eco-driving is all about driving more skillfully, and one person who knows all about that is 17-year-old rally driving sensation Tom Callow. In fact, Tom had an international rally competition licence before he'd even passed his driving test. Tom, a lot of people think driving more economically is just about driving more slowly. Is that right?
Not at all, no. There are many things you can do to reduce your fuel consumption whilst driving. One is giving your car a service regularly, and one is turning off your air conditioning. There are also many things you can do whilst driving to save fuel.
Well, we took this car out earlier and we calculated we did an average fuel consumption of around 40 miles per gallon. So let's see if we can do any better with these tips.
First things first, before you even start your engine, check whether your car's in good shape. It's recommended to get your car serviced every year, so if it hasn't had one recently, be sure to take it in for a checkup. If you're going to top your oil up, be sure to use the recommended oil in the car's manual.
Your car's manual will also tell you the correct pressures for your tyres. You can check these using a tyre pressure gauge, and if they're not pumped up properly, you can use an automatic tyre inflator or a foot pump to pump them up. Making sure they're pumped up properly won't just give you better fuel economy, it will also save you money because your tyres will last longer. And if you don't believe us about tyre pressures, you can believe this guy.
There are things that you can do individually though to save energy. Making sure your tyres are properly inflated. Simple thing.
A common myth is you should start up your engine before driving off on cold mornings. In fact, this wastes an enormous amount of fuel, so if you can, get going straight away.
Once you've got going, try to use the highest gear possible, changing up quickly to reach your cruising speed. Use your rev counts to help you. In a petrol engine car, you should change gear around 2,500 RPM, that's revs per minute, and in a diesel you should shift at about 2,000 RPM.
Anticipating the traffic in front of you is key. Make sure you're aware of what's going on around you. For example, if the car in front of you begins to brake. Beware of what happens ahead, and you'll give more time to brake so you can apply your foot gently. Remember, driving more smoothly will almost always reduce your fuel consumption. It's also likely to reduce the chance of you having an accident, and the important point given research showing that 1 in 5 new drivers will be involved in an accident in their first year on the roads.
The same goes for acceleration. Whenever you put your foot down, you feed fuel to the engine, so try to avoid accelerating hard. Instead, apply your right foot gently but steadily. Remember, once you're up to speed, it doesn't take much to keep you there. You can maintain speed with your foot on the accelerator far less heavily than you might think, so ease off once you're cruising. As well as driving techniques, there are a few things you can do inside the car to use less fuel. Having your air conditioning on full can increase your fuel consumption by 10%, so try to avoid using it when not necessary. The same goes for electronic devices like satellite navigation and your CD or MP3 player. These tend to suck a lot of power, so turning them off when you don't need them can also save you money.
Well, we've been using these tips today in our driving, and we reckon we boosted our fuel economy by 15%.
So there you have it. Eco-driving really can save you money and reduce your emissions. In this case, we reckon it would save about £100 in fuel costs over the year and 100 kilos of carbon dioxide emissions. It's good for the environment and good for your bank account.
So, if you want to be safer, greener, better off when you're behind the wheel, make sure you're eco-driving.